You can't be making love under a portrait of your dead wife or missing wife. That you gotta have boundaries. Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Today I thought I was going to have a look into some more of the Sims 3 lore. Well, not so much Sims 3, just the Sims lore in general. And one thing that I definitely thought was worth looking into was the story of Bella Goth. I know there's been tons of videos out there about this. I'm not doing any kind of theory video. Obviously, along the way I'll be making up my own kind of theories as I'm watching. But as of this point, I don't know much, which as a Sims streamer and player is pretty bad, I know. But that's why I thought, hey, I'm going to do it now while I'm here and, you know, spreading myself on the internet. What I've done is I found a few videos on YouTube by like well-known Sims players. I'll leave their videos in the links and yeah, so you can watch the videos without me talking over them. But this was my idea, so I'm going to give it a go. Like I said, I don't really know much about Bella. I kind of know that she's a mystery. I remember playing with her in The Sims 3 and like making all my friends, when they had kids, they were always friends with Bella and Mortimer. So yeah, that's what I've got, and I'm actually quite looking forward to it, to like kind of reacting live. So let's get into it. I will be pausing and stopping and chatting along the way, but yeah, so this first one is by, I can't remember her name, Winnie Britt, I think is the way you say it. I may have said that completely wrong and I apologise if I do. The dramatic life story of Bella Goth, the biggest Sims mystery.
If I asked you to name the most iconic character in the Sims franchise, most of you would probably
Christopher
say
Steele.
Bella Goth.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
you'd be right. We first meet Bella Goth in The Sims
Oh my
1.
gosh,
She's
the
wearing
first
her now
Sims.
signature red dress and
Oh.
is married to Mortimer Goth. Bella and Mortimer have one child, a daughter named Cassandra.
I
and
really
her
do
star
miss
sign
playing
is
the first
Cancer.
Sims. Oh, I love
Michael
that game.
Bachelor, Bella's brother, is also in the world, although there isn't really any explicit reference to their relation in the first game. Bella Goth in The Sims 1 is pretty vague. There isn't really any sign at this point that she would become the centre of the biggest mystery in the Sims games.
Ooh.
Pipe Drive, the easy and effective.
I need YouTube Premium.
The Sims 2 is based 25 years after The Sims 1, and boy, has a lot changed. Bella and Mortimer had a second child, Alexander, but you'd only know this by checking the family tree, because guess what? Bella's missing.
I do remember The Sims 2. I feel like that was the one. I remember my brother playing Sims 1 and me kind of playing it here and there, but Sims 2 was the game that properly got me into The Sims. I loved The Sims 2. I thought it was classic. But Sims 3 has my heart always. That's what properly made me a Sims player and a Sims fan. But Sims 2 is legendary and nobody can disagree.
Don is engaged to Cassandra Goth in the beginning of the game, although if you play in his household, it's pretty clear that he isn't very committed. He, for some reason, is visited by none other than Bella Goth. The last place Bella was seen was at Don Lothario's house. She was on the rooftop with him when he tried putting it on her, and she turned him down. This is the same guy currently engaged to Bella's daughter. Yep. This is a guy that is not put off by an awkward family reunion. It was also suggested in the game that it was at Don Lothario's house that Bella was abducted by aliens.
Whoa. Am I being dumb? Wasn't in The Sims 3? Weren't Mortimer and Bella brother and sister? Or am I making that up? I'm sure Bella and Mortimer were brother and sister.
It's false. No way. Not this time.
Despite Bella being missing from Pleasant View, the game suggests that she can be found in the alternate world of Strangetown. Some believe that Strangetown Bella is a clone. However, there is a chance that this is the real Bella and the difference in appearance is just an oversight from the creators.
An oversight isn't too hard to believe. I don't know. Maybe in Sims 2 it is a bit too hard to believe. I don't know.
Something else that happens is that Dina and Nina Caliente are introduced into the game. If you look at the family tree, Dina is shown as married to deceased Michael Batchelor, Bella's brother. Dina has the money aspiration and quickly moves on to Mortimer immediately after Bella's disappearance.
Hang on, is that Bella in the background? Because if it is, dude, you can't be making love under a portrait of your dead wife or missing wife. You gotta have boundaries.
It may or may not be worth noting as well that the Caliente sisters are part alien, which seems pretty suspicious that they move to Pleasant View and then the spouse of a wealthy sim suddenly goes missing. Mortimer created a youth serum, which was used on Bella, which I guess makes logical sense because in The Sims 2, Bella is shown as much younger than Mortimer, despite being childhood sweethearts.
I don't know, personally I think that's too far stretched. I don't know about that one.
Some believe that Bella was murdered and her death was orchestrated by the Caliente sisters, with the help of their alien relatives and possibly Don Lothario. This theory is unlikely though, because Bella's icon in the family tree
she's still in colour,
and deceased Sims usually appear in black and white. Timeline in a nutshell. After The Sims 1, Bella and Mortimer have another baby, Alexander. Bella's sister-in-law, Dina Caliente, moves to Pleasant View with her sister Nina, after Bella's brother Michael dies. Not long after the sisters arrive, Bella goes to Don Lothario's house. Don tries it on with Bella, she turns him down, and then mysteriously disappears. She was abducted by aliens, which her husband Mortimer wasn't too upset about. He then moves on swiftly with Bella's sister-in-law, Dina, who is part alien, and Bella's disappearance continues to be
aliens!
So along comes the
there
Sims
she
3.
is, legend. I've clearly got this wrong. Why do I remember Bella being a goth in... Was she? You know nothing, Phoebe Worrell.
But generally though, life is good for Bella in The Sims 3. But then, things take a sinister turn. In the downloadable extra world of Lunar Lakes, which is a world set in space in a later timeline, there's a large gravestone. And who does that grave belong to?
Bella!
The saddest part is that we don't know if she was ever found or ever reunited with her husband and children.
Does she want to be reunited with her husband though? Probably not. The children, yeah, all for that. The husband, after you just made love with your sister-in-law under a picture of you? No.
In The Sims 4, the Goth family live in Ophelia Villa in Willow Creek, and Bella is there. And that's because The Sims 4 has been set in an alternate reality. And so basically everything we have of the Goth family in this game can't really be considered when it comes to the story of Bella Goth.
Was that EA being lazy? Was that EA being like, oh, we can't be asked to solve all your weird fan theories at the moment, so we're just going to set this one in a very alternate dimension, we're going to use the same coding, and we're just going to go on, and we're just going to pretend like nothing's happened. Because to me, that sounds very plausible.
In The Sims 3, there are 2 books that appear to be about Bella Goth. There is the children's book, Where's Bella?
Where's Bella?
And also another book called Murder in Pleasant View. And that book was written by Alexander Goth, the child son of Bella and Mortimer. The theory suggests that Alexander Goth either knew more than what was let on in The Sims 2, or more likely he learned the truth about his mother's disappearance when he got older, prompting him to go back in time and save her.
Definitely Edward.
Now, you could argue that this theory is a bit far-fetched. However, it does tie in The Sims 4 with the story. Because if it was true, and his time travel meant that those events never happened, and Bella was never abducted, then it is possible that the way the Goth family are presented in The Sims 4
is the way it happened because he saved the day. It's Endgame. It's Endgame before Endgame. What? No, I actually like that. I'm in that. I'm into that. So he went back in time, stop the events from happening to his mom, and that is why it is the way it is in The Sims 4. I back that. I think that's sick. I thought that was very, very good. I thought that was quite a good one. Respect it, respect the research. That was pretty good. Right, on to the next one by the game theorist. Game theory, the unsolved law of The Sims. Bella Goth mystery. Ooh. I'm sure I've had a sim that married Mortimer Goth, and that would have just blown all of it out of proportion. So technically I saved Bella Goth. I'm a hero.
The sim known as Bella Goth was a beautiful, engaging socialite. Bella disappeared without even a dag, leaving behind a broken and grieving family. Even today, the question of what happened to her remains.
If you watched that other video, apparently they weren't broken or grieving, were they? So,
Ripped from the headlines, this is the Game Theory Files.
There's one family in particular that's surrounded by mystery. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Goths. The family is composed of Mortimer Goth, Bella Goth, and their two children, Cassandra and Alexander. Mortimer Goth is a rather prestigious sim. He's one of the first settlers of Sunset Valley, the primary setting for Sims 3, and his father was also one of the founders of Pleasant View, one of the primary neighborhoods for Sims 1 and 2. Needless to say, the guy is kind of a big deal. From day one of The Sims, Bella became a firm favorite amongst the fans, and she would stay that way until she mysteriously disappeared. Bella and Mortimer even had themselves a daughter, Cassandra, so it's only natural that theorists from far and wide had come together to try and solve the mystery. Unfortunately, no one's ever really been successful. A decade later, and we're still seeing theories pop up all over the place.
I am loving the graphics on this channel. It's great. I love it. I was so self-absorbed when I was playing these games. I literally had zilch awareness of what was going on around me.
However, today is the day that this mystery finally gets laid to rest. I'm gonna take on this gaming cold case and finally get Bella the justice that she deserves. So, what happened to Bella? Was it just a simple case of her leaving her husband and moving to a new neighborhood? Or was it something more sinister? It's time to call our two main suspects to the stand, starting first with her very own husband, Mortimer Goth. When you start the game, it appears that Mortimer has already entered a relationship with Dina Caliente, the widow of his brother-in-law Michael Batchelor. Which, gotta say, raises some serious red flags off the bat. Oh no, my wife is gone. Guess it's time to date her dead brother's widow. You see, The Sims 2 made divorce into a game mechanic. It was a way to punish unfaithful spouses. So, by making her disappear, he would get to keep all that luxury for himself.
I knew Mortimer as a little boy. He's not a killer. Mortimer, no, I don't. Do I? No, Mortimer's not a killer. I don't buy that one.
Mortimer's relationship meter with Bella across the series is very positive, and the lack of negative interaction memories between the two characters means it's unlikely that any cheating occurred, or at least any discovery of cheating. Instead, look at our next suspect, Don Lothario. And in Sims 2, Cassandra is engaged to Don. It's hinted at in the game that he may have been a victim of accidental teleportation. He's also known for breaking the hearts of women around him. Checking his relationship panel will reveal that he's also romantically involved with Dina Caliente and Kaylin Langerak, one of the maids in Sims 2. By checking Don's Simology panel, which lists out the traits of any given character, we can see that he's had a recent failed romantic interaction with none other than Bella Goth. Since it's listed as a failed interaction, we know that she rejected his advances.
Do you know what's really bad as well, looking at it now? The amount of times, like, in Sims that you play it, and your sim gets rejected by a sim that you want them to be with, and you just force the issue. Thinking about it, like, looking back on it now, that's quite awful. And I feel quite bad. But am I going to change? Probably not. I'm just getting comfy in my chair all the way down here.
If you look at Don's family introduction, you can see that Bella was last seen scaling the deck of his condo. See, there's one key piece of evidence that all of this overlooks. Bella's disappearance has a very specific label in the game's memory system. The image of a UFO from Don's roof. In fact, it says it right there, clear as day. Bella got abducted by aliens. Time to take a closer look at Dina and Nina Caliente, the sisters that... Looking at the Caliente family tree, we can see that Dina and Nina's grandfather was abducted by aliens, and he then gave birth to their father. So, they then have the means, but do they have the motive? The sisters' family description implies right off the bat that these sisters might not be entirely what they seem. So it's likely the sisters got Bella out of the way so they could swoop in and marry Mortimer for the money. If you go to the smallest of the Sims 2 neighborhoods, Strangetown, you'll find none other than Bella Goth herself. This Bella Goth was confirmed to be the same Bella from Sims 1 in an official promo interview posted on the Sims 2 community community board for Sims Social. When asked whether Dina was responsible for her abduction, she says this, quote, "When Dina and Nina moved into town, they were certainly very forward with my husband. In fact, it was almost insulting how openly they were trying to win him over, as if I didn't notice. I think someone sent Dina to town specifically to pull Mortimer away from me. I couldn't have possibly imagined that trying to create a life elixir that could help everyone would ever push someone to ruin our marriage."
There is so much information. What? Just a lot going on.
If Bella was able to resurface and start regaining her memories, why did she never return to the town? They sent Bella back in time to keep her quiet. The first two Sims games happened sequentially in the timeline. However, Sims 3 isn't a sequel, but rather a prequel, set 25 years before Sims 1 and 50 years before Sims 2.
I don't actually know what's going on at this point, if I'm honest.
And you want to know who we find if we visit Barnacle Bay in this game? That's right, Nina and Dina Caliente. In fact, Dina's character biography specifically mentions her breaking hearts in Pleasant View, a city that, given that the Goths are still living in Sunset Valley, hasn't yet been founded. This all proves that the Caliente sisters have not only been able to time travel, but have the technology to send both Bella and Don to the past to protect their secrets.
I don't know if I'm into this one.
However, it seems like Bella might finally have been the one to get the last laugh. That's why there's a children's book in this game called Where's Bella, similar to Where's Waldo, written by a character, I Am Right, a character who also wrote Predictions of the Future. Bella is I Am Right. Bella changed the course of history with these books, so the next time a pair of attractive twins start showing interest in you, just know that they're probably aliens looking to steal your money and then teleport you to the past.
I mean, that was sound, you know, that was a really good video and I respect it. Really respect it, but I don't know if I'm with it. Alright, on to my last theory. A game theory. I am on my favourite Simmers YouTube channel, Plumbella. I love this girl. She is awesome. I just love her videos. I think she's great.
People keep tagging me in this whole thing about Bella Goth and her case being solved. And I thought, well, we're being new. We're common knowledge at this point. But I thought, you know what? People are tagging me in it, so they must want me to have a look. And I thought, I'll have a quick look. Let's get abducted. And it's absolutely sod's law that the only thing I've been able to see on my Twitter timeline is this whole case about Bella Goth and her disappearance being solved. This is all by Alex Plays Sims. I can't take any credit. I'm just making a video on this. Once you've watched this video, please.
Hey guys, it's a video reacting within a video within a video. It's like Inception, but on YouTube and The Sims.
First off, we're talking about this verification from Sim Guru Sarah. Well, we finally find out what happened to Bella. She travelled to Loon Lakes and she's a ghost in the graveyard. Now, that's a pretty vanilla explanation for it. The ghost of Bella Goth reigns among us.
But did you see the emoji over there? It was like a winky. It's a lie. She's not really buried there. It's a cover story. She's going to come back in The Sims 5 and extract her vengeance on everyone.
So if she died on Luna Lakes, did she ever go home? Does her family know what happened to her? How did she die on Luna Lake? So in Sunset Valley, there's Bella. At that point, she's known as Bella Bachelor because she's part of the Bachelor family. And then in The Sims 1, we see her and she's married to a childhood best friend, Mortimer. They've had a little baby, Cassandra. So Michael, he joins the science career track. So scientist Sims contribute an invention in the Sims world. Michael's invention was cloning technology. He cloned himself and a test subject, Skip, broke and he died in a mysterious pool ladder accident, and his wife Brandy is pregnant.
A mysterious pool ladder accident. Yeah, I've heard that one before.
Mortimer follows after Michael and invents the age reversal serum. Bella's the first test subject, and the day of her abduction, she takes serum until she reverts back to being a brand new adult. Michael marries Dina Caliente. Michael is Bella's brother, remember that? And Dina and Nina Caliente are two people that
I remember all of
Pleasant
this.
View in The Sims 2. The part alien.
I'm with it. You got me.
Married for Michael's money. Michael was Dina's first serious relationship, and she didn't begin to cheat on Michael with Don until years later. I mean, does that make it any better? Shortly after Alexander's birth, Cornelia dies at the same time Michael does. Dina inherits Michael's estate and moves in with Nina. Then they move to Pleasant View. And they came to Pleasant View around the same time, maybe on the same day that Bella Goth got abducted. Bella is never seen again, but shortly after her abduction, a UFO crash lands in Strangetown. A report that Bella is in Strangetown start rolling in. But spoiler alert, that's not the real Bella. Cassandra, Mortimer and Alexander all age up on the same 2 days after Bella disappears. Cassandra goes to Don's house to find out what he knows about Bella, and that's where they meet for the first time. Don tries to seduce her, probably not knowing who she is, and Cassandra, as much as gotta love the girl, is naive as hell. I think she won the jackpot and falls to Don quickly. It's not known if Dina and Nina knew Bella, since it can't be established if Michael and Bella had a relationship at all. Mortimer has no memories of Michael, and neither did Cassandra or Alexander. They never met their uncle. Why is Mortimer fine? Because they are no longer married and haven't been since around the time Alexander was born. And that, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, is the biggest part that you all need to just remember. If you can only take one thing away from this, take away the fact that they're divorced. But no, they're the power couple. It can't be. Bella is buried in Luna Lakes. This means she died somewhere between the week of her abduction and Cassandra's wedding, where the game starts. Mortimer gets into a relationship with Dina extremely soon after Bella vanishes. If Bella does come back to Mortimer is still alive, they naturally do not get along at all. So in conclusion, Bella had an affair. Mortimer found out about it, which caused them to at least separate for a while. And Bella became pregnant with Alex, which would have brought up an important question. Who is Alex?
What? Oh, there's just too much information. My brain hurts. Yeah.
Two possible contenders for Bella's secret lover, Daniel Pleasant and Skip Broke. Daniel had an affair with Kaylin going on, so he definitely could have some action on the side of Bella too. But then the Skip Broke. Did I say that this one makes more sense than personally? It makes more sense to me as well. I'm just going to put my opinions on before we delve deeper. It makes sense to me because Bella Goth went missing, and if it's because of an affair, then who else is dead in a mysterious pool ladder accident? Skip Broke. She died sometime in the week between her abduction and the first time the Goth household is booted up from old age on Luna Lakes, despite the fact that she was brand new adult again thanks to Mortimer's reverse age serum. Then a UFO crash lands in Strangetown, and shortly thereafter reports of Bella Goth being in Strangetown start swarming around. Yes, this Bella is a clone. Something went wrong, she lost all her memories, but why did something go wrong? Because they don't abduct the elderly, they don't abduct kids, and they don't abduct pregnant people. And she took that reversal potion. She's not a kid. She could have perhaps been pregnant, and that's why she lost all the memories and everything. Dear. Also worth noting that there is another Goth on Luna Lakes who happens to look exactly like Bella. Matilda, the long-lost third child of Mortimer and Bella Goth. They don't appear on each other's family tree, but they wouldn't if Bella died shortly after giving birth to her. Matilda was put in the orphanage. That is true. Bella Goth.
But then why would she have the surname? Would she be a surname if... Huh?
Alexander is greatly affected by his mother's death. He believed Mortimer killed her. Shut the front door! As we all know, Alexander's name shows up in The Sims 3 a few times, despite the fact it doesn't exist yet. And according to the Goth family tree, it's not a name of an ancestor of his. He is the only Alexander Goth. Alexander wrote 2 books when he went back in time for the continuity of The Sims 3. Baron Graf Van Gold, Murder in Pleasant View. To string it together, Alexander remembers her being gone, then learning she died. He suspects Mortimer was the only one to do it. He never actually talks to his father about it. He doesn't know anything about the abduction. If anything, he thinks it's a ridiculous rumour. Decides at some point in time to go back in time to prevent his mother's death. So he and his wife go in the time machine and try to go back to when it happened, but instead gets sent way too far to when his parents are still children. What happens to the time machine? It breaks. He writes A Murder in Pleasant View to tell the story. A Murder in Pleasant View is a bestseller, and every bookshelf has a copy of this book. This is where The Sims 4 comes in. It's a different continuity, but it's different because they were aware of what Alexander believes would happen to Bella. This could be why their personalities are so completely different. I mean, I get it in terms of the theory. Honestly, I think that one is just EA not realising how much Sims players really do enjoy lore, and they were just like, let's just stick him in, there we go, we don't need to do much to him. Okay,
Yeah,
so the theory goes that because he would time travel back in time and wrote Murder in Pleasant View, that caused a chain reaction that caused people in Sunset Valley to be like, well, we don't want another murder, do you know what I mean? So then that whole thing didn't happen. Basically an alternate reality now, where in The Sims 4, Bella never goes missing, and then therefore Bella's never really pregnant, and he raises the younger child, and that's why nobody remembers it or anything like that, and that's why The Sims 4 Goth family is so not deep, because they can't remember it because Alexander wrote that book. It's canon.
That was that then. Oh, there was a lot going on for my little brain. I can't cope with that. Yeah, gosh, I don't even know where to start. I do like to think Don and Dina did the deed, did the naughty. But so did Dina and Mortimer do the naughty. And then she told him about the other one. So they wanted to do a threesome, but they knew they couldn't do a threesome because Bella was there, and they didn't want to force him because Dina wanted to be the only girl, excluding her sister. So they all got rid of Bella. So it's all of them. That's my theory, it's all of them. End of. Thank you for watching. Yeah, there's a lot, but yeah, like I said, you know, there's a lot going on there. Let me know your theory in the comments. What do you think happened? If you've got any good ideas or anything like that, let me know. Leave a comment, and yeah, leave a link for another Bella Goth theory video in below, because I'd love to check them out. I'm getting right into this bad boy. That's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it, and I shall see you around for the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye.